And good evening, everybody. Welcome here as we get ready to go nighttime racing to cap off our weekend here from the Talladega Super Speedway. We're getting ready for race number 9 of the season, the 5th season of the NCAA Hersheys Cup Series, getting ready for the running of the Geico 500. 30 laps of racing here this evening, and boy, coming off a very exciting race weekend last week at the Mud Summer Classic Eldora Raceway, where we saw Joshua Michaels put Honda in victory lane once again, and now Joshua Michaels puts himself in the conversation, along with Chris Dodd, James Richardson, Cole Baker, Sean Gallighan, Alex Drayton, and Anthony McCrury, as maybe a driver that will be battling for the championship further on down the road once the regular season comes to a close. But we're here at maybe one of the more unpredictable tracks on the circuit, in the fact that basically anybody in this field can win. And it doesn't matter where you start in this race, it's where you finish. It's so easy to pick up positions at this racetrack if you've got a lot of drafting help and you pick the right line to move. So, we could see yet another driver pop their name into the conversation to be in the hunt for this season's chase for the Hersheys Cup Series Championship. But I'll tell you what, last week was very interesting in many respects at Eldora, but I'll tell you the one that really stood out to me. We ended up having 10 drivers fail to make the main event of the Eldora Mud Summer Classic main event. 3 of those drivers came into that race as the top 3 in the point standings. Brandon Gonzales was the points leader, K Tellier was second, J Arndt was third. All 3 failed to qualify for the main event, which means that our top 10 in the point standings look much different coming into today's race at Talladega than they did heading into last week's race at Eldora. And I guarantee you, Talladega tonight will also be a factor into shaking up the point standings heading into our next race next weekend at Kansas Speedway. Dallas McIntosh lines up on the pole position. He's looking for his first win since Season 2 when he was a 2-time winner, trying to find victory lane with Sega Motorsports for the first time in his career. He lines up on the pole alongside of a former winner at this track, Cole Baker, who picked up his very first career win of the Hersheys Cup Series 2 years ago in this event. Caleb Farrell still looking for his first career win. He lines up in third. You got Emmanuel Hartnett there in fourth. And 2-time winner this season, Chris Dodd, looking for an unprecedented third win as he'll roll off in fifth. Let's get that command.
Drivers, start your engines!
And as the command is given, it'll be 30 laps of racing. Obviously, for our 3 stages, it'll be 10, 10, and 10. Pretty easy to figure out. Completion of lap 10, completion of lap 20, completion of lap 30. That is our stage finishes. And we're now going to give you your top 10, the point standings coming into tonight's race, presented by Golden Corral. As I said, the point standings all jumbled up after last week's race at Eldora. We now have a new points leader, Z Fitzwater. He has a 21-point advantage over James Richardson. Chris Dodd is third in the standings, 24 points back. K Shearer has now jumped up to fourth in points. He's 27 points out, and fifth in the standings is Brandon Gonzales. He dropped 4 spots in the standings last week, failing to make the main event race of the Mud Summer Classic. He is now 32 points out of the top position. The rest of your top 10 in points are K Tellier, J Arndt, Dylan Young, Cole Baker, and K Batson coming into today's event. We have, I believe, 3 of our 4 former race winners here at this race at Talladega in this field. We mentioned Cole Baker went to victory lane here at this track back in Season 3. Charles Sanford went to victory lane in this race back in Season 2. And the defending winner of this race is the defending champion of the series, M Haas. The only driver that is a defending winner of this race that is not in this field is Jeremy Jones. He went to victory lane back in Season 1, driving the number 18. So the 18 has been to victory lane in this event twice, once in Season 1 and once in Season 3. Could Cole Baker put it back in victory lane for the 3rd time in its 5th race on the schedule? We'll have to wait and see. The Geico 500 about ready to be run here under the lights. We'll see what the nighttime conditions bring. McIntosh and Baker get us underway. Green flag is out. Let's roll. Get Emmanuel Hartnett got a good jump. Tried to jump to the outside, but nobody's going with him. No love for a Toyota, and he's going to be able to tuck back in front of Levi McIntyre. Looks like McIntyre let him in. A lot of give and take here early on in this race, but don't expect to see that same give and take when we get down to the closing stages. And the battle is on to see who's going to lead the first lap, and it looks like it could very well be K Farrell as he moves by the 14, and he will go to the race lead. Getting help there by two-time winner of the season, Chris Dodd, J McCloud right behind him, J Bryant as well in the 22, and D Poteet there in the 31. McCloud looking for third, not going to be able to get to Chris Dodd's inside, and K Farrell, the rookie, will get a valuable bonus point for a lap led as he'll lead the first lap of the evening. Something wrong with the 14 of McIntosh? It looks like everyone's getting wadded up behind him. See what happens down this back straightaway here. I mean, he looks, yeah, there is something wrong. I don't know what it is, but Dallas McIntosh is off the pace. That's such a tough break for the driver that started on the pole position. I think that car could be down a cylinder or something. He has wadded up everybody, and it's splitting up the field. You see everyone trying to dart left and right to find a way by. Boy, that is a tough break for McIntosh in the 14. Go back up to the front of the field, though, and it's battle on for the lead. Poteet was out in front for a moment, but not for long. Jessica Shelton now moves to the top position. Retro Racing Enterprises, 2 seasons, have had all 3 of their drivers in the chase for the championship, the most recent last year. So far this season, none of them have been to victory lane. The highest running in the point standings of the 3, Charles Sanford. He is 21st in points coming to this race. Kyle Mathews in 22nd, and Shelton in 27th. She'll lead her second lap of the evening. J McCloud right behind her. Of course, McCloud's got his teammate behind him. McCloud and Poteet last season combining for 5 wins. Poteet with 3, McCloud with 2. They also have yet to find victory lane this season. Their rookie teammate Alex Drayton has already found victory lane, winning only his 3rd start of his career back at Las Vegas. Let's jump to the back here. It looks like McIntosh is now no longer holding up drivers. He seems to have slided in line here, and I think he is back up to speed. So I'm not exactly certain what went wrong with the 14 before. Yeah, he's up to speed now, holding pace with all these drivers, but I don't know what that issue was there at the very start of this race. Quentin Moore has lost the draft, though, in the 89, as has Dylan Young. That's huge for Dylan. He came in 8th in points. And Matt Haas, defending champion and the defending winner of this race, has also lost the draft in the 78. We talk about the championship slump. It's not really a thing, but it just seems to be something that usually happens in series that I run anyway, just through complete RNG. But it seems like if a driver wins a championship one season, the following season they just struggle. And that's what it's looking like it's happening for the 78 of Matt Haas. I mean, coming into this race, Matt Haas finds himself all the way down 37th in the point standings. He also missed out on last week's main event of the Mud Summer Classic, so it's just not been a great follow-up year for the 78 car, with all that momentum coming into the season as the defending champion of the series. B Gonzales was trying to get up into the top 5, but he's just gotten kicked out of line big time. He'll drop all the way back to around maybe the 10th position, maybe even further if they leave him out on that outside line longer. He's, of course, trying to bounce back from losing the points lead last week at Eldora. Shelton right now doing a good job controlling the draft. It's Tweenix Racing teammates side by side for second. Poteet up high, McCloud down low, and here comes Benjamin Miles with Daniel Guilbert, the 25 and the 4. We ended up having a 1-2 finish here in yesterday's race for Pizza X Series for AS Racing, so I'm wondering if any information those 2 drivers, Jefferson and Watson, gained in yesterday's race could be applied in tonight's race for J Arndt, Garrett Sydnor, and J Baskinger to be able to use. Right now, the only car that's close to the front of the field is the 05 of Arndt. He is trying to crack the top 10. He's close. I think he may actually be in the top 10 when we get to the start-finish line. And Jessica Shelton, the leader, shaken loose by Benjamin Miles. Now he's out in front. Benjamin Miles, a former winner here at Talladega, but not a former winner in the first Talladega race. He has a win here at Dega in the second time that we come to Talladega Superspeedway, and that was back, I believe it was in season 3. They're gonna go through wide for second. You bet they are. Poteet puts Blaine Keys in the middle. Daniel Guilbert way up on the high side. Poteet's got rookie teammate Alex Drayton as his wingman now as they'll move into second and third place. Seeing teammates finding each other here. Got the 31 and the 77 working together, and not too far back behind them, you got the 88 of Chris Dodd. He has found his teammate L Alvarise in the 08. Get Drayton, though. He's going to go to the inside of Poteet for second. Blaine Keys going to follow him there. Of course, Blaine Keys, the runner-up for the championship last season. One win last year. That came at a superspeedway, M&M Superspeedway, the last-ditch effort to get into the chase for the championship. He got a lot of help from teammate Trent Dunham to get that win. Very good at the superspeedway, showing it off here as he's trying to see what he can do with the Napa Chevrolet of Benjamin Miles. Now he's got bigger things to worry about. Here comes James Richardson, our Infineon race winner, to the inside for second place. And here comes the AS Racing Chevrolet of J Arndt. We are going to be heading next week to the track he picked up his first career Hersheys Cup Series win at Kansas. So right now, J Arndt, if he doesn't win here today, he will be heading into a one-year winless streak heading into next week's race at Kansas. He doesn't want to wait till then, though. He's going for second place on Richardson. It sounds like they're going to catch a race car momentarily. A couple of race cars, and I wouldn't be surprised if it's the 78 being one of them. Yes, it is. Matt Haas and Dylan Young's the other. You can just see how quickly. We're only 10 laps into this thing, and already Matt Haas and Dylan Young, who lost the draft earlier, are about to be caught by the lead pack. Just shows you the tremendous difference of speed between a pack of race cars and a car that's running all by themselves. And Matt Haas, a bad night's going to go worse. He's going to get caught by the leaders, but they're going to have nowhere to go. He kind of boxed in Benjamin Miles. Now Miles got to find somewhere to go. Daniel Guilbert going to try and get the top side going, and now it looks like Matt Haas will move up high and let the leaders on by. So Miles moves to the lead. L Alvarise now into second. Alvarise was on a big run of good momentum a few weeks ago, had those back-to-back fourth-place finishes, and I think it was, one of the races was Atlanta. I'm trying to remember where the other one was. I don't remember if it was the race before or the race after. And then things started to taper off a little. He now finds himself 19th in points, but a good run right now. J Bryant found himself up atop the point stands a few weeks ago. Now has fallen down in the standings to 15th. Now he's trying to bounce back as he's in third, and they're going to catch Dylan Young. And look at this. Dylan Young might be playing some defense for his teammate, J Bryant. He was able to get to the inside of Alvarise for second. Let's see if Bryant uses the two car as a pick to try and get the race lead for Miles. Here he comes. I think this was strategy. I think Dylan Young was playing the spoiler for Benjamin Miles for his teammate J Bryant to go to the race lead. So that worked out very well for the Young Motorsports Ford. So even though Dylan Young now is a lap down to the race leader, at least he makes something good out of that horrible situation. And we've got a car hitting pit road. That's the 51 of J McCloud. Now, I don't think we are quite yet to our fuel window, but he's coming to pit lane nonetheless. And this, I believe, is a scheduled stop for the Tweenix Racing Chevrolet. So very interesting. He's coming to pit road much earlier than we expected him to. And they are going to go ahead and service that race car. A couple other drivers in. Tim Walsh, Anthony McCrury. And this makes me wonder, because if the fuel window is between 13 to 15 laps here for this race, these drivers may be making one of 2 pit stops they'll have to make this evening. Poteet is in, along with a whole host of others. And that turns the race lead, I believe, over to his teammate, Alex Drayton, in the 77. It does indeed. Benjamin Miles back to the inside for the race lead. We'll more than likely see these 6-7 drivers that stayed out on pit road next time by. One of those drivers is actually the points leader, J Fitzwater, in the 59. Best finish this season was at Atlanta, finishing 2nd place to Cole Baker. And it's actually 5 lead lap cars in this group, then the lap car of Matt Haas, and more than likely we'll see them on pit road this time. So McCloud, McCrury, Walsh, they came in on lap 12. Big majority of the pack came in on lap 13, and now the rest of the race leaders coming in on lap 14. Now, this says to me, if they have reached the exhaustion point of fuel, they are going to have to pit again somewhere between laps 26 to 28, and that's about between 4 laps to go to 2 laps to go. So this could be a very interesting fuel strategy race if the calculations are correct and if this is indeed the furthest they could go on 1 tank of Sunoco racing fuel. Long stay there for Miles and J Arndt and Richardson. I think that the team's making sure they get the car completely packed full of fuel. So maybe that little extra time spent on pit road might be the difference in whether these drivers can make it the rest of the way or not. We'll have to see. As far as drivers like McCloud, McCrury, Walsh that all came to pit road, I'm not too certain they can make it with the fact they came in as early as they did. Alex Drayton was able to have that inside advantage coming off pit road, so Benjamin Miles wisely just yielding the top position to the 77, and now you're going to see everybody start merging back together. D Poteet, Brandon Gonzales, Alvarise, Shelton, and Bryant, who were all in that lead pack earlier, they're now going to merge back here. And look at Miles. That's 2 tires below the double yellow line. Not sure he can do that. He did it, though. I don't know if he's going to get called for that or not. It looked like 2... Oh, and yep, they're calling him to pit road. Oh, man. Benjamin Miles. Oh, someone's blown up. Somebody's blowing up, and that's Quentin Moore in the 89, right in front of the race leaders. Benjamin Miles made the move down below the double yellow line. He advanced his position. NNSCRA officials saying, no, you can't do that. He's been called back to pit road to serve a penalty. Quentin Moore's car is blowing up, and we're still green. And here's the battle for the lead. Shelton now going back for the top position. And she'll take it from Alex Drayton. Didn't take long for things to escalate in this race, and boy, that's a tough break there for Benjamin Miles. Comes into this race in the 31st position in the point standings. Certainly needed a good points day here today. Was out in front for quite a number of laps, but now costly error. And, the thing is, we could obviously go back, we could look at replays and everything, but from what I saw, it didn't look like the 25 got forced down there. It looked like he chose to try and make a 3-wide move there with Alex Drayton and D Poteet, who had a big wave of momentum catching up to the top 2, and just didn't keep his 2 left side tires up above that second yellow line. If he had had it on the line, he probably wouldn't have been called, but you could clearly see his 2 left sides were down below the double yellow line, and he advanced his position going into turn 3, which is why NNSCRA officials had to call him to pit road. So after the cycle of pit stops, let's try and give you as good a full field rundown as we are able, as we have about 13 laps to go. Jessica Shelton is the race leader. J Arndt now moves to 2nd. Brandon Gonzales now 3rd. Poteet in 4th. 5th is Zachary Fitzwater with J Bryant in 6th. 7th is Leon Alvarise. 8th is Alex Drayton. And 9th is James Richardson. Those are the cars in the front pack. Then you got a second pack from 10th on back, led by 10th place K Batson. Then you got last week's winner, Joshua Michaels, up in 11th. Cole Baker in 12th. 13th, Trent Dunham. 14th is J Gardner. 15th, Nathan Hudson. 16th, Charles Sanders. 17th is Levi McIntyre. The rest of your top 20 is Tim Walsh, J Baskinger, and Sean Gallighan. 21st is Chris Dodd. 22nd is Caleb Farrell. 23rd, K Shearer. 24th, J McCloud. 25th would be G Sydnor. 26th is Emmanuel Hartnett. 27th, L McIntire. 28th, K Tellier. 29th is B Allan. Anthony McCrury is 30th. 31st is C Llamas. 32nd, Blaine Keys, who has lost the draft. 33rd, Daniel Guilbert. 34th, Cody Smart. 35th, I believe, now would be Benjamin Miles. And 36th, last car on the lead lap, about to be the first car one lap down, is K Mathews, who's holding up his teammate. Shelton getting to the inside. Contact! I don't think she was too happy with Kyle getting in her way, and she is going to be able to at least clear Brandon Gonzales, keep the top position. Gonzales was trying to make it 3 wide to take the race lead. And then, of course, now Mathews a lap down, also joined by M Haas 37th, Dylan Young 38th, and the only car out of the race, we saw the engine expire on the 89 of Quentin Moore. So right now, rookie of the race would currently be 7th place, and that is Alex Drayton in the 77. The rookie points battle has been very, very good so far this season, but K Shearer, for I think it's been 3 straight weeks, has been rookie of the race. And he came into this race 4 points over Caleb Farrell, 5 points over Quentin Moore, 9 points over Drayton, and 12 points over Cody Smart. And it doesn't look like Quentin Moore nor Cody Smart will be having good finishes here tonight, as Smart is very closely in danger of going a lap down, and Quentin Moore is out of this race. Look at that gaggle of cars Shelton and company are going to have to deal with pretty soon. Blaine Keys, Daniel Guilbert, Cody Smart, Benjamin Miles in this group, along with the already lap machine of Dylan Young. 1 car is a headache, 5 cars is an extreme handful. And the field is definitely split up as well. Shelton, Gonzales, Fitzwater, they've broken away from Bryant, Drayton, and Arndt. And K Batson has now worked his way up into, I think he's now in the 7th position. I think some drivers had some difficulty getting around Kyle Mathews. Chris Dodd and Nathan Hudson, they've all now jumped into the top 10. Look at Keith Batson there. We keep talking about when is Lincoln going to get their first points-paying win in the Hersheys Cup Series. They've already got a non-points win with Keith Batson in the Clash earlier on this season. That was a super speedway at Daytona. Could tonight be the night? So many things about to come into play in the closing stages. Traffic just ahead of the leaders, potential fuel issues, and Shelton now going to catch up to Dylan Young. She will get to the inside line and put him 2 laps down. Zachary Fitzwater used the 2 as a pick, and now he moves into 2nd. He finished 2nd, we mentioned, back at Atlanta to Cole Baker. He does not want to finish 2nd place again. Comes in as the points leader as well, and look at the gaggle of cars that are reeling in the top 3. Shelton, Fitzwater, Gonzales, don't look in your rearview mirror, because Keith Batson's got a lot of friends that want to play in the finishing stages of this race. Batson to the inside of Dylan Young. Dylan Young not going to let him by just yet. Now Batson will get by. Whoa, he had to lift there as well to try and get by. John Arndt going to get by. Here's Bryant. Here comes Chris Dodd, Nathan Hudson. All of a sudden, we're going to have some new players up here at the front, and it'll be 6 laps to go next time by. Top 3, single file, trying to keep the gap between themselves and 4th place, but there's just too many cars to hold back. Right now, I think Shelton, Fitzwater, and Gonzales, all they can do is battle amongst themselves, try and figure out who's going to be the leader before they're gobbled up by the big pack of race cars that is very quickly approaching them. Batson, John Arndt. We mentioned AS Racing with a 1-2 finish in yesterday's Pizza Series race. I bet that information's been passed along to John Arndt's team. Here comes Batson and company. Batson will move into third. Arndt to fourth. Dodd to fifth as Fitzwater gets freight trained. Everybody trying to get around Dylan Young. How about Joshua Michaels? Last timeout's winner. And the guy that finished behind him at Eldora last week, Cole Baker. They're now side by side. That is for the 9th position. Two former winners this season trying to pick up their second win of the year. More traffic. Cody Smart. Shelton goes high. Gonzales goes low. They're going to drag race to the line. Who leads this lap? It's Gonzales by a nose. 5 laps to go here at Talladega. Smart getting moved way up to the high side. Everybody's going to get by him, at least for the lead group. Here comes Keith Batson with a big run through 1 and 2. Batson's got Chris Dodd with him. Fitzwater there as well. Fitzwater now steps out of line. Gonzales going to try and clear in front of Batson. Can he in a 3? He can. He'll hang on to the top spot for the moment. But I think Gonzales is pitting. His hand's out the window. Gonzales is pitting. It's going to be the fuel strategy we thought was going to happen. Gonzales to pit road. Michaels to pit road. McIntyre as well. Who's got the fuel to make it? Shelton uses the outside line to slingshot around the Lincoln Continental Keith Batson. She's back to the lead. But the question is anyone in this lead group willing to risk it to try and make it to the end without having to come to pit road? You got Cole Baker in this group. Chris Dodd. Dodd's got 2 wins. He's locked into the chase pretty much. Why doesn't he risk it? Cole Baker, same situation. He's got a win. Does he try to risk it? You got Shelton, Batson, Arndt, Fitzwater, Hudson, Dunham. They're all trying to get their first win of the season. Would they be willing to risk it? And there's your answer. No. Everybody from this lead pack's coming to pit road. Is anyone staying out another lap? I think Alex Drayton is staying out. Yes, he is. Is there damage on his car? It looks like there is. Maybe not. Maybe it's just the transition from the lighter red to the darker red, but he now is in the race lead, is Alex Drayton. And I believe he's the only car that risked it. Yes, he is. He's the only car that risked an extra lap. So I think everybody's going to be on pit road here, and it's going to decide this race with about maybe 2 laps to go. This has been like the telling tale of the season where pit stops happen in the closing stages, and then the race win is really decided with about 2-3 laps to go after the pit stops cycle around. And Drayton is hitting pit lane. So let's find Shelton and company. There they are, just now leaving pit road. This is potentially the battle for the win. Shelton, look at Batson. Oh, Batson, I don't know about that. If he had 2 tires below the yellow line or not. NNSCRA already busted Benjamin Miles for that. Let's see if Keith Batson gets busted for it or not. Are they going to call him back to pit road, or is he going to get the luxury of staying out? Apparently he was clear. He did not get called to pit lane. Batson out in front. It's 2 laps to go. Your top 5 are Batson, Shelton, Arndt, Fitzwater, and Trent Dunham is now up to 5th. And now he's going for 3rd place on Fitzwater. This is not over by a long shot. You can get a tremendous amount of draft on these straightaways, and with the CTS physics, you can close up the gap very quickly. Look at Trent. Look at the momentum he's got coming down the back straightaway. He's going to take 2nd from Shelton very easily going into 3. Can Dunham close the gap and take the win from Batson? Here we go. 4 cars here. Batson, Dunham, Shelton, Fitzwater, all looking for their first win of the season. Dunham to the bottom on Batson for the race lead. White flag displayed. 1 more lap to go. Dunham trying to clear Batson before they get into turn 1. Batson gonna tuck in line. Now Batson is the hunter. Dunham is the hunted. Fitzwater, Shelton, waiting to see what happens as they battle for 3rd. Down the back straightaway they come. Dunham gonna do a lot of mirror driving here, trying to pick up his first win of the season. Batson trying to pick up the first win of his Hersheys Cup Series career. Fitzwater right there in tow in 3rd place. Can Batson get any help from Fitzwater if he makes a move here out of 4 and into the tri-oval? Batson trying to close the distance. Will he step out of line? Dunham gonna pinch it down to the double yellow line. Batson not gonna have any help to be able to make the move. Trent Dunham wins the Geico 500 here tonight at Talladega. We know Trent Dunham's disdain for Daytona, especially Daytona 500 weekend, but man does he love Talladega. His first win of the season. It happens here tonight under the lights, and talk about a driver that could really use a good run. Trent came into this race 33rd in the point standings. We say it all the time, Talladega seems to cater to the drivers struggling in the points. That's what Trent Dunham was doing up to this point, and now he picks up a victory. And again, so close for Lincoln. Another runner-up finish for a Lincoln Continental in a Hersheys Cup Series points-paying venue. It's gonna happen this season. You know it's gonna happen. Batson and Tellier have been so close so many times all the way back to last season. It's gonna happen this season. Trent Dunham. Man, that car was flying at the end of the race. He came off pit road in 5th, and with 3 laps to go, worked his way to the race lead and the win. Batson will get 2nd. Fitzwater, talk about a great day for the points leader. He'll get 3rd. Shelton brings it home in 4th. She had one of the strongest cars tonight, was out in front for most of this race. She'll get a top 5 in 4th, and D Poteet will bring it home in 5th. Cole Baker, another great run for him, his 2nd straight top 10 finish as he gets 6th. Brandon Gonzales in 7th. Nathan Hudson, well-needed run for him. It's nice to see him get a good run as he's going to get 8th. Joshua Michaels follows up his win last week with 9th, and Chris Dodd continues his consistency, finishing in the 10th position. And you got J Arndt in 11th, J Gardner in 12th, Tim Walsh, Alex Drayton, J Bryant. That was your top 15. Then L Alvarise, Charles Sanford, K Tellier, L McIntosh, and K Shearer will be your top 20. Alex Drayton going to get Rookie of the Race here today with a 14th place finish. Then we get to the heartbreaks of the race. Obviously, you got to talk about Benjamin Miles. Was out in front leading the race. Had that battle off pit road after the first cycle of green flag pit stops with Alex Drayton. Made a move to the inside of Drayton on the back straightaway where his 2 left side tires went below the yellow line. He advanced his positions, so NNSCRA officials had to call him back to pit road. He finishes 34th. Drivers that finished off the lead lap included Cody Smart, Matt Haas, Kyle Mathews, and Dylan Young. And Quentin Moore was the only driver to finish this race behind the wall after his engine let go very early on in this evening's proceedings. But that is going to do it here tonight from Talladega. Man, what a race. What a way to kick off, or to cap off, I should say, what's been an exciting weekend at the high banks of Talladega Superspeedway. Hope you guys enjoyed tonight's race. If you did, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the crew today. We've shown your full finish results. These are your rookie points and your overall points headed into next week. All 3 series are back for a action-packed weekend at Kansas Speedway. That should be a very interesting race, and I wouldn't put it past it being another fuel strategy race for these Hersheys Cup Series drivers. I mean, they must have a PhD in fuel strategy with the races we have had so far this season, but I wouldn't put it past Kansas to also be a fuel strategy race when we get there. But anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in to tonight's race from Talladega. We will see you guys next week as you've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, offline racing at its best.